What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a wonderful hump day. That's right, it's Wednesday, and I'm back in business, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate each and every one of you who have been checking up on me as my health just keeps getting kicked in the face profusely. It's been great. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Sorry I haven't been able to get as much news. I tried to make some posts and things that keep you guys in the loop with what's going on, but sorry I wasn't able to do any breakdowns. But we're here and we're ready to rock and roll. Got out of the hospital in time to make it last night to the link for my fantasy draft, and it was amazing. Driving home at midnight from Philly was quite ridiculous for my 2.5-hour drive, but it was well worth it. I just don't listen to doctors. I never get the rest that I apparently need, but I'm rested. I'm ready to rock and roll. And the Eagles had joint practice today. So we're going to talk about that. But I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in today. Sorry if my energy's a little off or the voice is a little beat up here, but doing my best. But I appreciate each and every one of you. If you have any questions, any comments, please feel free to throw them my way. But we're going to go over this joint practice, what happened today. We'll start it off, of course, with the injury report, and we'll go from there. Now, James Bradberry, we know last week was a little banged up. We're a little concerned. We know we're being precautious. Any little minor injury we see, we know that the team is going to be very careful with them. Well, today he was limited, so you did not get to see a lot of him. I know you're going to hear some things, and I'm going to show you some things, but take it all with a grain of salt, ladies and gentlemen. These are joint practices. But James Bradberry, he was limited today. Now, Jack Anderson was out with that rib injury he sustained. Sean Bradley out with an illness. Christian Ellis still out with that hamstring injury. Hargrave still being kept out with that toe injury. A new addition, Josh Jobe, who you guys know, I believe, will make this team as the 6th cornerback. I think some others are starting to come along there as well. But I really feel that this kid, he's got the talent and he's got the upside that you want to keep him around. So hopefully nothing too serious. Jason Kelsey, we all know with the elbow surgery he had there, he is going to be held out all of the offseason. Miles Sanders with a hamstring injury still being held out. We know that they're being precautious with him. We are hoping he can stay healthy this season. Josiah Scott, he is dealing with a hamstring injury. He was trying to work himself into my projected 53-man roster. This guy, that versatility, that we have a lot of these defensive backs that can play that nickel corner, free safety, help on special teams, all that stuff. Josiah Scott really helping himself out last couple of weeks. Well, found himself dealing with a hamstring injury after that game the other day. So we're going to hope that he is all right and keeps pushing to make this roster. You know that the Eagles traded for him last year. So a crowded defensive back room. We'll see how that plays out. Greg Ward still dealing with that toe injury. And as I've mentioned, I feel the Eagles could definitely keep 6 wide receivers this year. Now, the question for me is, it comes down to, is Jalen Reagor still on this roster? You don't just cut him because of the money. You have to trade him. But if you don't, he's the 5th wide receiver to me, and I'm okay with that because A.J. Brown, Devante Smith, Quez Watkins, Zack Pascal as your top 4, that's pretty awesome. If Reagor can bring you something as a 5th wide receiver, I'm okay with that. Now, as a 6th wide receiver, I feel Britton Covey could have made it because of the return specialist ability, just bringing someone into that room. We needed it. Well, he dealt with that torn ligament in his thumb, and, things haven't been looking the greatest. Today, a little bit different, but I think, the kid still has a chance. But Deion Kane has been pushing. So a lot of guys trying to make this roster. So these injuries, yeah, you may be being precautious and holding some of these guys out, but some of these guys are trying to win a job. So we're going to hope that they can get healthy and hopefully be back on the field sooner rather than later. Now on to the practice notes for today. And again, this is a joint practice. You have to take it all with a grain of salt. But one thing we talk about is how much I like these joint practices more than I actually like the preseason games, due to the fact that in these situations, you actually are playing situational football. You are able to put yourself in the red zone, put yourself into situations you're not going to necessarily find yourself in a game when you only have one drive with your starters. So I think, you gain a lot more. But again, it's practice. You have to take all of this stuff with a grain of salt. People, whether it's good or bad, take it either way. And I think people just need to cool the jets. So let's get into some of this. Let's break it down. You know that the media is going to be losing their mind today with some of the things that happened. So let's get through it. So first note I have, the media finally noticing that quarterback Jalen Hurts has some arm strength. I don't know the past couple of years who put that out there, who tricked people into thinking Jalen Hurts didn't have a strong arm. But anybody who watches football knows that he has a strong arm. they know that he throws with more velocity than Justin Herbert. So found it hilarious all offseason to hear people tricked into thinking that. So to see them today talking about it's crazy, he has a strong arm, I just don't understand. It's like, well, that's what we've been trying to help you guys understand. So it's great to see the media finally jumping on board, getting behind the Eagles. You love to see it. But Jalen Hurts had himself a decent day, but he hit A.J. Brown, a nice one-handed touchdown catch over Xavier Howard. That's something you love to hear because Xavier Howard, one of the top corners in the game. So love that. I know a lot of people feel Reid Snet is making this team. I still don't see it. He started off today with 2 interceptions. I'm just not sure. I know a lot of people just want him to be the quarterback over Hurts. I would suggest those people stop talking about football. Yeah, that guy is definitely not going to be our quarterback, and I don't even think he makes his team. Devante Smith continues to shock the media with his skills. I still don't believe last year, thought he was too skinny, wasn't going to make it, wasn't going to really be an impact in the NFL. You guys know when I wrote that article about why we should draft him, how I felt about the kid and how I thought in a couple of years he's going to be one of the top receivers in the game. I think other people are finally starting to see how good Devante Smith really is. And thankfully, man, the media can just lay off of how we're the new Jets because, well, clearly we're not. So he went out there, he mossed Nick Needham. This dude just keeps going out there and pressing. So Devante Smith, keep doing your thing. Cannot wait to see you and A.J. Brown. And then, of course, wide receiver 3, Quez Watkins. He made himself a nice 20-yard catch today. Dude, I'm telling you. And then when you look at number 4, Zack Pascal, he made a few good catches from Hurts and Gardner. This is a pretty damn good wide receiving corps. Whatever anybody in the media is telling you, they're wrong. I really feel that this team is going to win the NFC East and be a Super Bowl contender, regardless of what they're saying out there. I know that a lot of them are changing their tune now, but that's what we've been trying to work on these last couple months. We keep educating, keep teaching them what's actually happening, and then we hope that they have to change their narratives. So you saw when I finally was able to go to the open practice, thank God. They kept talking about how horrible we had been. So I wanted to see for myself. So I got to go there. I told you guys all about Jalen Hurts, told you about the offensive line, how great this defense looked with the multiple schemes that we've been talking about. Talked about Josh Jobe, Britton Covey, all of these guys that I just didn't understand why the media wasn't talking about any of these things that I saw in one day. Well, thankfully. So if anybody wants to take me to another closed practice, I'll happily go along. But you love to see it because now they're all singing the same tunes, and that's what we've been trying to do. We got to educate these guys that don't know what they're talking about and help them because they are the ones, that get the masses upset that things aren't happening or this, that. It's like, well, you got to be educated on what's actually going down for you to be upset about it. So pretty wild, but we're going to do our best this offseason to change the narrative here and get people rooting for the Eagles. Now, Lane Johnson tossing Jalen Phillips like a rag doll. Apparently, Landon Dickerson in on that too. Little scuffle that went down. You love to see it. I love every second of that. And look, I've said this, though. I don't want any injuries, anything stupid happening, so you want to be careful. But I love to see the aggressiveness, the first practice, letting them know we mean business. Britton Covey, look, I really feel that he could still make this job, the wide receiver 6 job, hard for the Eagles, making it. I think we got to keep 6, but Deion Kane continues to impress too. So it's good to see Covey going out there, having a good day. We'll see who the final man is. Kenneth Gainwell made a circus catch today. That's nice because we've been hearing about his issues holding on to the ball lately. So very nice to see him have a good day, good catch. Cam Jurgens gets in the face of Raekwon Davis. Wanted to throw that out there. More aggressiveness from this offensive line. And Cam Jurgens, man, this dude is the future. I know a lot of people were upset with that pick, but we broke it down, talked about why it was so important to have that pick. So he just keeps showing people why he was that right pick in the second round. Love to see it and can't wait till that dude takes over. Thank you, Jason Kelsey, for pointing him out to the Eagles staff. The Eagles' first team did struggle, though. In 11-on-11s, it definitely looked like the Dolphins, had their number, but it's a damn good defense. We know that. And again, this is practice, so I'm taking it all with a grain of salt. Now, Grant Calcutta was back to full practice. Love to see it. Caught a couple balls from Gardner Minshew, but you guys know I feel he is the third tight end behind Goddard as that Y-type tight end. You got Jack Stoll as your H-back, and then you add in Grant Calcutta as that F-type tight end. I think it's a perfect trio of tight ends. And I felt that way, but because of the injury for a couple weeks there, it kind of looked like Noah Togiai, maybe Richard Rodgers could steal a job there. So great to see him back. We're going to hope that he stays healthy and continues to show what he's got and hopefully can make this roster. Now, on to the defensive notes. Oh, hold on. We got a couple comments here. Let me see. Yo, my man AK in the building. What is going on, dude? Doing good. Back in business. Had my fantasy draft tonight. I'm ready to roll. Appreciate you checking out, my man. Hope you are doing well. I'm feeling good, my man. Drew, appreciate you checking up as well, my man. Ready to rock and roll. Hope you guys are ready to rock and roll. I'm back in business. Look, I'm a little beat up. You can tell with the energy, the voice, but I'm going to still try to give you guys all the information and everything you could possibly ever need. Any questions, comments you have, please feel free to throw them my way. But I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I appreciate anybody else who's tuning in right now, whether you're watching this now, live, whether you're watching it later. Every single one of you, without the likes, the subscribing, all the stuff you guys are doing, I can't do it without you. So I just always want to thank you guys. And for when you guys are checking up on me, all that stuff, I don't mean to do that stuff. I don't need your attention. I don't need, people whining for me. I don't want any kind of anything like that, dude. What I want is for you to understand why I'm not here. That's the only when I could die, almost die, that's when I let you guys know something's going on. I just want you to know if I disappear, I would never do that to you. I'm always here for you guys. So just always try to keep you up to date with what's going on with me. And I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you, my man, Drew. You guys are truly awesome. And I appreciate you. And sorry, I've been going through this, trying to keep myself healthy here. And son of a bitch, let's get it out of the way before the season starts. Let's go. Now on to the defensive notes. Tyreek Hill had his way with the Eagles defense, just like he has with every defense. He is Tyreek Hill. Tua Tagovailoa is going through the same thing Jalen Hurts is going through. He is not white, so he cannot progress as a quarterback. We all hear it nonstop. Look, he looked pretty good today. He was doing pretty well. He has Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle there. So got Gesicki, quite the weapons there. They did pretty well today. We shall see, how this looks in a preseason game. But again, those are going to be second, third stringers. So take these practices, take the preseason games all with a grain of salt. Now, Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis continue to dominate. You guys know all offseason people talked about who's playing over who's the starter, who's that? Well, I try to explain, they're playing next to each other because you're going to see a lot of odd fronts. You're going to see some even, sure, but you're going to see a lot of odd. You have a nose tackle now. Jordan Davis will be in the middle there. And then in the 3 technique, you're going to have Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave next to him. You'll have Milton Williams spelling both those guys. I think people are about to see how special this defense is really going to be. And I think if they understood those multiple schemes, they'd understand my excitement. So go check those videos out. I've been breaking them down all offseason, trying to teach the media that we are not switching defense, trying to teach them what the defense we ran the entire season last season, what that was. Apparently they weren't watching. So we're going to try to help them understand it all. But this team, the big key was adding Jordan Davis, a nose tackle, and a Sam linebacker. Well, Hassan Reddick had 2 sacks today. Dude just continues to dominate. We've talked about, as a Sam linebacker, being able to drop into coverage, but being that pass rush specialist, this dude, oh my God, you're going to see why he was my number 1 priority this offseason. This dude, I know everybody wanted Deshaun Watson. I felt this and Jordan Davis were the better moves. I think people will be on board with that sooner rather than later. Nakobe Dean, what a steal he was in this draft. Getting some first-team reps on defense and special teams. You love to see it. A lot of people, this kid's a bust. He sucks. TJ Edwards is the best. Kid's never going to start. I disagree. I think, TJ Edwards, we've talked about, definitely progressed. And we've talked about why Kaiser White, we had to add him. You guys remember he was one of my top priority free agents. I think, that allows veterans to be there to help Nakobe Dean grow. And then this guy becomes the future. I think he's going to be starting sooner rather than later. So love to see the narratives out there, but the kid can ball and he will continue to show that. Darius Slay got burnt by Tyreek Hill. The one play, he got his feet tangled. I actually was able to see it. It didn't really look like he got burnt too much, but there were a couple plays that they had mentioned. So I put it down because that's what they said. But from what I saw, looked like he got his feet tangled. He was running stride for stride with him, but he did come up hobbling. And the media tried to say he was faking an injury because he didn't want to be beat and this, that, the other thing. They can't stand that this Eagles team is looking good. So anytime you see anything negative happen, they're going to jump on that. And like I said, I literally saw the play stride for stride with Tyreek Hill, gets his feet tangled up with him. Maybe that's why he was hobbling. Just a wild guess. I mean, if I were there, I'd be able to report that. I mean, that those kind of things actually happen. But they're saying that he is faking the injury, didn't want to lose to Tyreek Hill. I'm going to tell you that's a lie. They are lying straight to your faces. Now, cornerback Avonte Maddox had a nice pass breakup on Tua. Not sure who the receiver was, but Avonte continues to ball out. When Bradbury is healthy, that trio is going to be phenomenal. Cannot wait to see it. Marcus Epps was a victim of Tyreek Hill. Everybody was a victim of Tyreek Hill. So not a surprise here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, he's Tyreek Hill, so not a big deal. But the first team defense did struggle a little bit on the 11-11s. And again, we're hearing all of this from the media. The guys that said that the Eagles are the worst team, we suck. Jalen Hurts doesn't have an arm. They don't even know what the Eagles defense is. So you have to understand that people telling us these things don't even really know what they're watching. So it's hard. There are some good ones. There's definitely guys like Chris Franklin out there, Reuben Frank, Les Bowen. There are guys that I definitely follow, that definitely know what they're talking about. There are other ones too, but you got to counteract all of the BS that's out there, and you see all of the clickbait and all the stuff, and it's like, Jesus Christ, like they really want us to fail because they spent all offseason talking about how Howie was a horrible GM, how we didn't have cap space, we didn't have draft picks, 10 of them, we didn't have all of this stuff, and we had to trade for Deshaun Watson because that made us a Super Bowl contender. You guys know I broke down how we had to actually add all of these other pieces, and that's how you become a contender. So I think there's just so much anger from them that they were incorrect, that they now have to go above and beyond whenever bad things happen to make this team look bad. That's fine, man. If that's their MO, mine's going to be to tell you what's actually going on. Seen it as well, agree, and it looks like Toe, but doesn't matter. As long as he's fine, let them spread their lies. Hey, man, exactly, Drew. And you guys see it eventually, down the road, once they start repeating what I've said, whether it's a week later, months later, you can tell they're just going with the narratives here, man. And when you actually know what you're talking about and you can break things down, it makes it easy to see that these people are really clueless. So, hey, man, we're going to keep showing them that there are people out here that are going to educate others, and it's not going to work out for all of the lies they're trying to spew. So, no, Darius Slay is not faking an injury. No, he did not get burnt. He was stride for stride, got his feet tangled, and it looked like maybe his toe or foot or something was hurt. I mean, it's a football play. Guy got up, went back in. At one point, he had to leave, but he's not faking. Whether the media wants to push that narrative or not, I can assure you he's not. He's big play Slay. And that was Tyreek Hill. And he was stride for stride with him. So, just saying. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get rolling out here. Hope you appreciated all of these notes and the injury report. If you have any questions, any comments, anything not talked about here, you just want to know about a player, whatever it is, you can reach me on any of these platforms down below, or you can always comment on one of these videos, and I will always get back to you guys. Truly appreciate each and every one of you taking the time today, though. But got to get back to some things. And, I still have to check this out. They handed us this as we were walking out the door last night. Got the nice season preview book. So I'm going to spend a lot of my free time today checking that out. But yes, very excited about my draft fantasy stuff. I know a lot of you guys around this time of the year will have fantasy questions. Feel free if you have anything you want to know about, or you're going through something in your league, doing a trade, whatever it is. Always here to help you guys out. Appreciate every single one of you. But hope you're having a great Wednesday. You take it easy as well, my man. Definitely feeling a little bit better. I definitely should have got some rest yesterday rather than driving to Philly and then doing a draft that long and then driving back home. So, but had to make it back home. It was my kid's first day of school today. So up early. It's just been what a day it has been. But I hope you're all having a great day. If you need me, please feel free to reach out. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this has been On the Road to Victory. Stay safe out there. And as always, go Birds!